Maybe the wife is alive. She didn't die on camera.
No.
we didn't see her.
Actually, yeah, no, we didn't see it.
No, she's dead.
No. Yeah, no, I think they did a good job on the first episode. Definitely, I think that's the first episode with the green light, red light.
Yeah, that's the first.
It definitely hooks you for the whole season.
Yeah. And then they move on to the third game. Well, I guess there's like a surprise game in between.
Laser tag? It's a laser
tag. The second one and the third one, where they just basically make them fight.
Yeah.
Or like they starve them in a way, and so that they go crazy, and then they fight each other, and they end up killing quite a bit.
Well, first they make it seem like when some of the guys had like a double meal.
Yeah.
And that's why
that was the reason.
They revealed that they actually on purpose they had even less.
Yeah, for sure. But they don't explain that at first. They make it seem like that is the sole reason.
And the guy is smart enough to keep some glass of a 7-Up that he breaks or something.
Oh yeah.
But okay, that's the other thing. The foods that they were getting for lunch. Did you notice it was?
It was like egg.
Yeah, it's like an egg, like a fried egg first with like rice and veggies. I think that's the first meal they get. The second meal is just a hard-boiled egg with a soda.
Yeah,
I would be starving. By that.
Yeah, which I guess that was
what they were trying to do.
That's what they were trying to do.
The fight breaks, and these guys already kind of have like a group formed, and the older guy, I guess we should have said this earlier. The older guy has like a tumor in his brain. And, he's kind of like not really there sometimes. And they lose sight of him, right? The fight keeps going on. People are getting killed. Please let me know, how the hell does somebody like that old, that is losing it, that doesn't have a lot of mobility, get all the way up to those beds and start screaming that he's scared? Because I can't figure that out. I think that's a plot hole.
That's a good point. I guess I didn't even think about it. He's like
4-story high.
I just saw he was there from the beginning, but I guess even if he's there from the beginning, it's still hard for him to get up there, right?
How did he get up there?
Well, they have stairs or a ladder. I don't know.
No, dude. Like this. No. Anyway, okay. This is where the major spoiler. I think if you haven't watched or finished the season, like maybe consider skipping for a little bit. Yeah, stop here or skip for a few. This was the first spoiler for me on the old guy. The first episode, I was telling my wife, I was like, I think he's in it since the beginning.
Why?
First player.
The first moment he came up?
Yeah, because he's the number one player. He's pretty much the only old person in there. And seems to have a lot of like fond memories of like childhood. And then when the thing goes, when he climbs up there and he's missing, I was like, okay, he's on it, because he knew the fight was gonna break. So he probably took his time to get himself in a spot where nobody would get. Yeah, and or he got help somehow when nobody noticed, and they sneak him out and then put him back in up there, because there's no way he could have got in there. Then the other one that gives it up for me about him being in it is when the main, the guy with the black masks, like looks at him and it, sees like he's like, oh, please, like stop this, and he's crying, and he goes like, okay, stop. Like, first of all, they're supposed to like not stop the game, right?
Oh, right, yeah.
But it seems like it was all that triggered the stoppage of the game. So that's when I knew that the guy either had some involvement or maybe was like the original, the OG like Squid Games kind of guy. No, you didn't get any of that bite?
No, but I mean,
So you've got fooled completely.
Yeah, for sure. I totally did.
Wow.
I
expected more of you.
Because I don't even remember that they actually stopped the games. I guess now that you mention it, that went completely over my head. I didn't realize they stopped the games because the old guy was crying.
Yeah, I think the keyword is that I'm scared, because every time that he said I'm scared, it seems like people pay closer attention to him. If you watch it again, you'll see like every time he says like I'm scared. Yeah, that's like,
But that's the only time he said it.
No, there's another time. I think it's when he pees himself.
It's the same scene.
Yeah, something else happens and he says that I'm scared, and then they it seems like you you can tell that they do like the camera against the black mask guy. So yeah, like you can tell there's a connection somehow. But anyways, that was good. I mean, I don't know, is that a children's game?
The fight, I don't know, and I guess like
they did say it was part of the game.
they play it here like it's called a pillow fight, I guess here.
The equivalent of a pillow fight.
And then the next game is Tug of War. That one is
that one
classic.
everybody knows.
Everyone knows.
What did you think of the tactic?
I guess
you want to test it. You know you want to test it.
Okay, I love like the original tactic. I thought it was good. I guess where I was a bit confused was the Hail Mary that they throw when Cho Sang-woo is like, let's take 3 steps forward or whatever. Was that basically to just like fool the other team to pretend to make them?
No, it was to make them
winning?
slip. Because they were pulling so much, so his thought process is if we give 3 steps, they're gonna slip.
They're gonna like okay.
But yeah, I mean, I guess that's why he was saying. For me, it wasn't too far fetched. The technique, I thought was like, oh, that's pretty smart because you're putting all your weight, backwards. To counter that, if you knew how that could happen, is basically do the 3 steps forward, because then all those players on the opposite side are basically flat on their backs,
right?
And game over for them because then they're gonna get pulled. But
I guess it worked. I don't know if it was like 100% explained to me, or at least like it showed. But whatever, it worked. It was fun.
The other spoiler that I didn't catch this one, but I stumbled upon it. The way this is the other thing that you could have caught the hint that the old guy was on it. That somebody froze the panel when they're pulling, and there's a scene where the old guy is kind of like a little like he's kind of like on the ground. The shackles that they're in, his doesn't have a lock. So if you look at everybody has like a silver lock. He's the only one that doesn't have a lock. So if things would have gone south,
he wouldn't have gone.
He wouldn't have gone with them.
Oh, that's a good one.
So they get good at the Easter eggs.
Yeah, I definitely.
I'm not BSing. This is a thing,
right? Yeah, I know. Like, I was watching a couple of videos about like, the Squid Game explained or whatever. So the videos plus like all the comments on YouTube and stuff like that, everyone brings in like cool little things. But yeah, definitely me just watching, I wouldn't have caught like a bunch.
That was
of
way
other
too
stuff.
fast. These are people that have like no life.
I
let them do the job.
Dude, I just fucking watch the show probably.
I just worked like 60 hours this week.
2 nights, just like before going to bed or before falling asleep. So
yeah,
I wasn't. I was just having fun, not trying to make a job out of it.
But you see the lock, right? The silver lock. It's when they win and they fall. He does have a lock. Maybe the other one doesn't.
He has a lock right there.
Fake news, everybody. He does have a lock. Okay, fine. He does have a lock. Those people should do better homework.
Leo. Can't trust anything you see on the
Fake
internet.
news, man. I'm telling you, that's how you spread all this bad shit, man. Well, on the scene that they showed, you could tell that he didn't have a lock. So I think it's just a mistake on the
lock. It's because of the angle. Because the lock is probably like over here.
No, the lock, it's on the white line. You can kind of see the silver along the.
Like right there.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah. It's just the angle.
It's just the angle. So we're looking at at episode 5, and it's the scene basically once they have spoiler 1. He's laying flat on the ground, and that's what they were claiming, and there was no lock. We just zoomed in into the scene, and he definitely has a lock. So now I will say that would have been it's a fake lock. No, but if he's in it, you would think that he probably knows a way of unshackling himself.
Or maybe he was just so determined, like so sure that he was going to win with this strategy.
True.
But he is playing for real. Because, I mean, at the end, he says, like, I had a freaking tumor.
I don't know about that because, let's talk about the marble game. He doesn't get shot, right?
Right. We don't see it.
So it could be that they would have shot him with a blank all the time. This is the only game where he if he was really in it, I guess this is the only one where he could die. So the whole, I guess, theory that that he didn't have locks, for me, I was like, oh, that makes sense because this is the only one that he has.
I
Like
guess.
people outside have no control over. I guess they could drop the blade, but the guy was about to fall either way. I mean, they wouldn't have. Yeah,
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. That's weird.
conspiracy theories, man. Let me get my tinfoil hat. But okay, about the marble game though. Is that really the best way to play marbles? Even an odds game? Like when I saw that, I was like, "What the hell is this?" Like
They play all kinds of games. So,
but the main game that everybody's playing is even an odd.
no, there's a bunch of people just playing. There's some people
Okay,
having like a
the Indian guy,
marbles in the middle, and they're just like throwing.
the main characters, the Indian guy and the stockbroker, they're playing even an odds.
Were they?
Yeah,
Okay.
and then the old guy and the main
Oh, that's
character,
right.
they're playing even an
Yeah, they're
odds.
also playing that.
The two girls, they're not. They're just enjoying life as you
And
should.
Yeah, and the whoever makes it closer
to the wall
wins.
wins.
That's it, wins.
Uh,
That is
That is a
game we
legit
played.
game.
I remember playing that with quarters in high school.
I played with marbles and quarters, so yeah, that's a game that I was expecting them to play. And then the guy with the snake, right? I'm so badass
Bad
kind of guy. Yeah, the bad guy of the movie. He's playing even the knots as well. He's down to his last marble,
Right.
and then he switches the rules.
Right. He kind of like switches it to, I guess, more of a traditional marbles game.
That's what I was expecting.
That I've played.
Yeah.
It's slightly different because,
Yeah.
in the way you throw it,
Yeah.
but essentially the same. You're trying to make it into a hole.
Yeah.
That's basically
Or
the way I've played marbles.
Yeah. For me, I think sometimes because sometimes you couldn't make the hole, but you would just basically draft a circle, and whoever was inside that circle, you can knock people out of the circle.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You see, those are games. For me, the whole even and odd is like, what's the point of marbles at that point?
You could do it with anything.
Yeah. I don't know. If it's truly a Korean game, I'm really disappointed. Like they could have done way better. It's pointless to have marbles.
That one definitely was. It was cool because of the twist that they throw. Oh, and it's not. I guess it's a twist. You don't know, and it's essentially like everyone's picking.
Okay, I did caught this one.
What?
This Easter egg, and you may want to look into it. I don't know if I've seen it. This may be the first one, but when he's looking for his house, right, the old guy,
Yeah.
that house has the signs of the Squid Game. So it has the triangle, the circle, and the square.
Really?
The card that they give the players before he walks in, that house has that. That's the other giveaway. Like you would think, because he says like, "This is my house,"
Right.
and how come that's the house that has the Squid Game?
That's a good one.
Yeah, you see.
Oh.
Okay, so we're looking at
Nice.
the scene. I was like, this guy is definitely in it. And I told her because this episode in particular ends basically with them shooting him, right? Well,
Yeah.
you don't see,
But supposedly,
but you hear the bullet.
this is where he dies.
Yeah. So, and I saw that and I was like, he's alive. And she's like, no, the guy died. I mean,
They're kind of like pulling a Game of Thrones
yeah.
type of thing where it's like, if you don't die on screen,
You didn't
you're
die.
probably still alive. Gambu.
Gambu. You're my
Best friend.
soulmate
Yeah.
marble player
Yeah.
to the Gen X or millennials. It's like the Pikachu to my Ash Ketchum.
I guess, and that's fair to be like, oh yeah, he's in it. But how do you know that? I mean, because this whole setup is done by the people that do the Squid Game, so maybe they're just putting signs, saying, "Hey, this is a Squid Game." So
No, because No. No. I mean, okay, you know what? Go ahead and look at the whole thing. But
I
No.
understand why you could think of it, but also at this, but at the same time, if I looked at, I didn't notice that, but if I were watching, I wouldn't think much of it because I'd be like, well, yeah, they're in the Squid Game. They probably have symbols like all over the place.
maybe it's because there is a couple of houses where they have scenes of people playing at the doorsteps, and in none of them I saw that. And And if you notice, they kind of slow down the shot just for you to take a look at that.
Yeah.
And that's since the beginning when he's in the town, in the little, make-up town that they have, or the make-believe town. He says, this is like my neighborhood. Song-gi-han. He says, oh, yes, this looks pretty familiar. And they're both from...
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's right. I guess the way I was looking at this stuff was like, well, one, the dude is clearly demented. Like, he's senile. So, sure, yeah, it looks familiar to him because the setup is like a typical Korean neighborhood.
But, I mean, you should have... Okay, so your guess was he did die. Like, when you were originally watching it.
I did think it was odd that they didn't kill him on camera. And because I've watched Game of Thrones, I was
know
like,
what to expect.
That was kind of weird. But at the same time, I was like, whatever. I didn't
didn't think much of it. Yeah, no. I mean, it's well made. I think they do drop like the Easter eggs like here and there.
Yeah, now that that you're bringing it up and all that stuff, like it makes sense. But again, even if you catch it, it is reasonable to be like, well,
yeah,
I don't know,
whatever.
Yeah, like
just enjoy the movie.
50-50, I guess it can be 50-50.
Yeah. Well, I think that's why they do some of the Easter eggs, just to even like start making you have these theories about. Yeah. Well, and just saying, if you really want to find exclusives like this about the sign, you can tune into the It Is What It Is show every Tuesday and enjoy these exclusivities. It's just that one, really. I really don't catch much. This is probably the first and last time I'm going to be ahead of the curve. It was good, the Marvel game. I like the some of the twists on it.
Yeah.
Definitely
the Ali and Cho Sang-woo.
For me, actually, was the couple. The marriage couple.
Oh, yeah.
Because everybody gets tricked into thinking that they're going to go...
Team up. Imagine that, dude.
No.
Fuck.
If you're a couple, right, and if you're in the Squid Games and you have to choose between you and your wife, just hypothetically speaking, the first thing that I'm thinking is like, which one of us has the most likelihood
of winning
to make it out of this?
Of winning, yeah.
But in this situation, I was like, they never really touched on the couple or why they were there. Or
right, they don't give you much.
They didn't give you much
the fact that the man is the one that made it.
Yeah, and you don't know how they arrived to that conclusion.
Right. You don't know what game they played, like evens and odds.
No.
Or they just said like, hey, I have a better chance. You're going to die.
I think they missed out on it. They should have put that on camera.
Yeah, because I was like, oh, shit, that was crazy.
Yeah, you could even go the route of like, oh, no, I need to let my wife live because, if they have kids, maybe the wife is better for the kids. Like all this stuff. Like they just messed up. I think they should have added.
Yeah, that was a big one. Yeah.
Yeah. Or maybe that's why they did it.
Maybe the wife is alive. She didn't die on camera.
No.
we didn't see her.
Actually, yeah, no, we didn't see it.
No, she's dead.
No. Game of Thrones. Yeah. Everybody's alive. They didn't talk about it.
About what?
About who gets to stay alive.
Between those two?
Yeah.
They do.
Did. No.
You see the dude alive.
No, I know, but they didn't talk about it. Like, they didn't make the decision between them about who should keep playing.
Oh,
they left it up to luck.
Yeah. Oh, they did. What do you mean?
Why would you kill yourself afterwards? If you have a goal to pass the game to...
Oh, but still, like...
dude, that's
even if you make even if you make a decision... Right, like afterwards, like dude, like your wife died, like they killed your wife.
But I mean, what? No, at that point I would have been like, you have to have something else to live, because why would you have made that decision in the first place?
I don't know, dude. This is clearly
you're telling me
a stressing situation. It's a mind fucking situation. So there's nothing logical about it, I guess.
There has to be.
Plus, they don't mention about like if they have kids or not. So
actually, they did mention they have kids.
They do?
Yeah.
Oh, see, I didn't even pick up on that.
I don't know. I'm just making that shit up just to make sense of the situation.
I don't know. I don't know. I can still see that they decide like, yeah, I'm gonna advance, and then afterwards you kill yourself, and yeah, I mean,
it is what it is.
It is what it is.
Every Tuesday.
Tune in.
Make sure you like and subscribe and all the shenanigans. We go on from the Marvel game.
It basically halves. Well, literally.
Oh yeah, it eliminates.
Literally.
No.
Well,
that one character that annoyed the living shit
that's
out of
true.
me.
The woman that didn't play.
That lady has the most